Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of How Much Lint is in Evan's Belly Button. Evan? 6. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of How Much Lint is in Evan's Belly Button. We'll see you next week. Welcome to this week's episode of Stormwatch, a show with such low ratings that the only time Slaughter bosses felt comfortable putting us after is a show called How Much Lint is in Evan's Belly Button.
It's a quality show, great character development.
I liked it better when you didn't talk.
This year we took advantage of our CNC machine to manufacture a lot of parts that would be difficult or near impossible to create on our own in previous seasons. For example, the walls of the chassis are created with the CNC machine so that we could have the most precise holes possible and make sure everything lines up perfectly.
We made a lot of special gussets with the CNC machine too. So for hanging for mounting our shooter, we do have a gusset plate that has exact measurements because of the CNC machine. So that really helped us with mounting things and iterating things perfectly. Some things that Mechanical has been tasked with construction of are the beaver tail, which is our intake mechanism, a shooter, a hanging, and a chassis. So basically for the shooter, some things that we had to deal with were compression of the ball for shooting. So what we did was we made the ball 3 inches of compression and we put it halfway up on the ball. Those are mounted to guard plates, or guard rails, which have side plates and a bottom square piece that all connects it. And they have rollers on the top, which can intake the ball from our intake system. So basically they just roll with rubber tubing and they compress the ball into the shooter.
For our intake mechanism, also called the beaver tail, we use 2 bag motors, one to rotate the beaver tail from the upright starting position to where it can compress the ball, and a second motor which is used to turn tubing, which then intakes the ball into the shooting mechanism.
So something that the Mechanical had to deal with this year was integration of the parts. With the CNC machine, we had to think about how we were going to integrate it before we actually built the stuff. In past years, what we would do is just build everything together, so it was kind of interlocked already. So what we had to deal with was intaking the ball from the back and then shooting it from the front, so that took up a lot of the inside of our robot. So we had to deal with how they would mesh together, and that was particularly difficult because they were blocking each other when they were trying to tilt. So we had to cut off part of the shooter and we have to move the axle placement of the beaver tail. Now, we also have the front part taken up by electronics, and we also have our gearboxes up front. So that leaves a little bit of room for our hanging group, and they've managed to keep it very minimal amount of space in there. So overall, we've been having some difficulties with doing our integration, but it's turned out pretty well.
So you got any plans this weekend? Okay, we're back to this. Let's see how it is. Oh, you do something weird again, aren't you? Oh, there goes the chair at the top now. That's cool. All right. Oh, moving me again. This is great. Do you see this? Do you see this? I can't deal with this. I cannot work like this, okay? I quit. Out of D108 Productions, Stormwatch, I don't even care. He's gone now. He just fell. Great. Out of D108, I think we have the robot reveal video coming soon. I don't even know. Vote on whatever H-lettered stupid name for this robot you like. I'm out of here. Send it! I quit!
So do you guys think you're behind schedule?
Well, Evan, I guess you could say we're screwed. We're actually screwed.